Welcome back to the Jank Factory, everybody. This is Logrith, and I am here with the final spoiler video for Theros Beyond Death. It looks like they dumped all the cards over the weekend, and we've got ourselves quite a few to go through. We left off on Relentless Pursuit last time, so we're going to start from here and move on forward and deal with everything that we see up through there. I do want to take this moment to say like, share, comment, subscribe, and if you are ordering any Theros Beyond Death cards from TCG Player, please use the affiliate link at the top of my description. It helps the channel out, and I definitely appreciate the help. So we're going to move on to our first new card, Heliod's Punishment. It's a 2-mana aura, enchant creature. It enters with 4 task counters, and an enchanted creature can't attack or block and loses all abilities, except for tap to remove a task counter from Heliod's Punishment. Then, if it has no task counters on it, destroy Heliod's Punishment. So it's a delayed prison effect. It's interesting. Heliod's Intervention, X white, instant speed, choose 1, destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments, or target player gains twice X life. So the first mode is really cool. Kind of like a Fracturing Gust almost effect. The second one, gaining twice X life. Sanguine Sacrament really didn't see a lot of play, but it didn't have a usable ability tied to the other end of it as well. Hateful Eidolon is not clickable here, so on TCG Player we can pull it up. It is a 1-mana, 1/2 lifelink enchantment creature, Spirit. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. It's a pretty good uncommon. I think it's definitely useful when it comes to any kind of Enchantress type deck that's splashing black. Blight Breath Catoblepus. A 6-mana 3/2 beast. That seems bad. When ATB, target creature opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is your devotion to black. So you -2/-2 and get a 3/2 creature for 6 mana. At the worst. That's not anything like a Ravenous Chupacabra. I don't think I like it at all. Aspect of Lamprey. 4 mana for an aura. Enchant creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards 2 cards, and enchanted creature has lifelink. That's actually pretty cool. So 4 mana, discard 2 that gives a creature lifelink at common. That's pretty good. I'll be happy to get that whenever I do any kind of sealed or draft event. Enemy of Enlightenment. 6 mana enchantment creature demon. 5/5 flyer. It gets -1/-1 for each card in your opponent's hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card. So no, don't like it. I'm sure in some way it's useful, but I'm not a fan. Fruit of Tizarus. 1 mana sorcery, target player loses 2 life. It can escape for 4 mana and 3 cards. Funeral Rites. 3 mana, sorcery. You draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. That's actually pretty good fuel for a black deck right there. Captivating Unicorn, 5 mana, 4/4 with Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters a battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. Grim Physician, 1 mana, 1/1 zombie. When it dies, target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So, kind of like a Fume Spitter. Daybreak Chimera, 5 mana, 3/3 Chimera. It costs X less to cast, where X is your devotion to white, so a 2 mana 3/3 flyer is good. It's very good, and it's very easy to pull that off if you drop a Lendin on 3, and then you can drop this on 4 with something else potentially. Lampad of Death's Vigil, 2 mana nymph enchantment creature, 1/3. Pay 1 mana and sack a creature. Each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Minions Return, 3 mana, flash enchantment, aura, enchant creature. When an enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control. So Kaya's ghost form, but with flash for more mana that can't target a planeswalker. Okay. Dreadful Apathy, 3 mana, enchant creature. It can't attack or block. For 3 mana, you can exile enchanted creature. I love the artwork on it, and I do like the card. I like the ability to exile the creature later on. That'll put the enchantment back into your graveyard, which means that you can bring it back out with Dance of the Manse, or use it to escape another card that is more important for you at the time. So that's pretty cool. Mogus's Favor. 1 mana, Aura, enchant creature. It gets +2/-1. Escape for 3 mana and 2 cards. So not quite Unholy Strength. Flicker Fate's unclickable, so I've got it pulled up on tcgplayer.com. 2 mana instant, exile target creature or enchantment, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. I'm always a fan of flicker effects. I almost never run them because I can never figure out how to run them and make myself happy, but I always love the concept of a flicker effect. Farrak's Libation. 3 mana instant, choose 1, target opponent sacrifices a creature, or target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. I like this. I like the modality of it. I like that it's a sacrifice effect instead of a kill effect. It's useful and I like it. Glory Bearers, 4 mana enchantment creature, 3/4. Whenever another creature you control attacks, it gets +0/+1 until end of turn. Karametra's Blessing in white, okay. I thought there was a Karametra's Blessing in green in the original Theros block. Could be wrong. 1 white instant, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it's an enchanted creature or an enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That's a really good cantrip. I wonder if we'll see feather decks running that. Hexproof and indestructible, and +2/+2. It's really good. Rage Scarred Berserker. 5 mana, Minotaur Berserker, 5/4. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Soul Reaper of Mogus. 3 mana, 2/3 enchantment creature, Minotaur Shaman. 3 mana and sack to draw a card. That's a good little common draw engine for any sealed environment, I would think. Leonin of the Lost Pride. A 2 mana, 3/1 cat warrior. When it dies, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. That's pretty cool. Temple Thief. 2 mana, human rogue, 2/2. It can't be blocked it can't be blocked by enchanted creatures or enchantment creatures. Okay. Kind of flies in under the radar of the gods. I like it. I don't know if the gods watch over their temples, but I figure it's best to be stealthy just in case. Underworld Charger. 3 mana, 3/3 Nightmare Horse that can't block. It escapes for 5 mana and 3 cards, and escapes as a 5/5. Phalanx Tactics. 2 mana, instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Each other creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That's really good. That's another really good cantrip. Or not cantrip, but combat trick. Underworld Dreams! Oh, they reprinted Underworld Dreams. I love this card. 3 black for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. You could build a deck that is just like a black-blue, maybe black-blue-white prison deck, where you're dropping Underworld Dreams and Revenge of Ravens and Ill-Gotten Inheritance. You're running Ob Nixilis, making them lose life whenever they draw cards. Oh man, that sounds exciting. I want to do that now. I might do that. I might really do that. Rumbling Sentry. 5 mana, 3/6 for a giant. When it ETBs, scry 1. Venomous Hierophant. 4 mana for a 3/3 Gorgon Cleric with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. So it's a 4 mana card that comes out, you know, the turn before you would have 5 mana to use any of the 5 mana reanimation spells with Death Touch, so it helps defend you. And it puts 3 cards in your library, from your library into your graveyard. I can see that being used if we're in like a really aggressive format, which we probably will be. Sentinel Eyes is not clickable, so I've got it pulled up here on TCG Player. It is a 1 mana white enchant creature aura that gives the enchanted creature +1/+1 and vigilance. For a white and 2 cards, it can escape. Aspect of the Manticore. 3 mana for a flash enchantment in red. When ETB's enchanted creature gains first strike until end of turn and gets +2 power. Good combat trick. Sunmane Pegasus. 4 mana, 2/3 white flyer Pegasus. For 2 mana, it gains vigilance and lifelink until end of turn. That is definitely a limited card. Dreamstalker Manticore. 3 mana for an enchantment creature Manticore. 4/2. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, Dreamstalker Manticore deals 1 damage to any target. That's a high rate. 3 mana, 4/2. At uncommon, I like it. Transcendent Envoy. 2 mana for a 1/2 griffin with flying that is also an enchantment creature, and it makes all your aura spells cost 1 less. Final Flare. 3 mana, instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or enchantment. Final Flare deals 5 damage to target creature. Flummoxed Cyclops. 4 mana, 4/4 with reach. Whenever 2 or more creatures your opponents control attack, Flummoxed Cyclops can't block this combat. So it can only block if you attack with a single creature. I don't like him. I'm sure I'll probably use him if I get him in a sealed pool though. Impending Doom. 3 mana, enchant creature aura. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and attacks each combat if able. Whenever enchanted creature dies, Impending Doom deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. The Sword of Damocles is hanging over his head. Feast for your next meal may be your last. Cue music from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. No, I'm not going to get copyright violated. Sorry. But you know what I'm talking about. Illyrios Enraptured. 3 mana, 2/3 legendary human. Enters the battlefield tapped, and it doesn't untap during your untap step if you control a reflection. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/2 blue reflection. So it is literally a reflection. It's a 3/2 versus a 2/3. I like it. Very on point with the flavor and the source material of the Greek mythology side of it. I like it a lot. Incendiary Oracle. 2 mana, 2/2 human shaman. For 2 mana, it gets +1 and +0 until end of turn. If a creature dealt damage by Incendiary Oracle this turn would die, exile it instead. That is a really cool ability to have on a creature. Just making anything that is dealt damage dying exile. My. Chain to Memory, 1 mana instant. Target creature gets -4, -0 until end of turn. Scry 2. Good limited combat trick. Infuriate's reprinted again at 1 red mana, instant speed, +3/+2 to a single target creature until end of turn. Deny the Divine, 3 mana instant, counter target creature or enchantment spell. If that spell is countered in this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. A great wave crashed, and a mighty wind blew out the stars, the cosmogony. I wonder if the cosmogony is like some sort of anti-god book that's within the world of Theros or something. It's a good question to look into. Erois's Blessing, not clickable, cut. zoom in. 1, 2, 3. Erois' Blessing is not clickable, so I have pulled it up on tcgplayer.com. 4 mana Aura, enchant creature you control. It enters the battlefield and does 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, and gives the creature that it enchants +1/+1. Irreverent Revelers. 3 mana, 2/2 Satyr. When it enters the battlefield, you may choose to destroy an artifact or it gains haste. Another solid modal card. I like it. Elite Instructor. 3 mana, 2/2 Human Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Nyxborn Brute. 5 mana for a 7/3 enchantment creature Colossus. Metamize Prophecy. Ooh, a new saga. 2 mana with 4 lore. 1 lore, scry 2, 2 lore, choose a card name, 3 lore. When you cast a spell with the chosen name for the first time this turn, draw 2 cards. 4 lore, look at the top card of each player's library. It's a decent card, Advantage Engine. Scry 2, choose a name, cast a spell with the chosen name, draw 2 cards. It's definitely useful. Portent of Betrayal, it's a threaten effect that is being reprinted. 4 mana, gain control of a creature until end of turn, untap it, it gains haste until end of turn, scry 1. Satyr's Cunning, 1 mana. Sorcery, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token. With this creature can't block, it escapes for 3 mana and 2 cards. Nyxborn Seaguard, 4 mana for a 2/5 enchantment creature Merfolk Soldier. Storm tossed and broken, Calliphy cried out to the deep-dwelling Thassa. Tritons came swiftly to save her, bringing her north to the Lindis, the Califia. So, the Califia must be the story of Calliphy. I like it. I like the flavor and lore of this, even if Wizards is not giving us any lore at all, hardly, or any story with this whole set. I mean, the War of the Spark novels were garbage, but the Throne of Eldraine novel was great, and I was hoping we would get some more really good positive kind of stuff like that, but apparently that's me asking too much. Skophos War Leader, 5 mana for a 4/5 Minotaur Warrior. Pay a red, sack another creature or enchantment, and it gets +1 and menace until end of turn. Stampede Rider, 3 mana, 2/3 Satyr with Trample. At the beginning of each combat, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn, making it a 3/4 with Trample. Riptide Turtle, 5, 2 mana Flash Defender. Okay, it's a big butt. I wonder... Actually, yeah, that's a great card for any kind of deck that's wanting to run the Defenders attack with toughness type build. I like it for that. It doesn't fit Flash, but it is a big old turtle. Throw of Possibility, new artwork. Underworld Fires, 2 mana, sorcery. Underworld Fires deals 1 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. If a permanent would be dealt damage this way, would die this turn, exile it instead. So I guess you do Underworld Fires and then follow it up with the 4 mana board wipe that does 4 damage, and that way you exile everything that has 5 loyalty or toughness. But that would require 6 mana, which is a lot, and having both cards in hand, which is hard in red. I don't know. Sage of Mysteries is unclickable, so I have it pulled up on tcgplayer.com. It is a 1 mana 0/2 Human Wizard with Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. So Crufix is milling, man. Okay. Rapid Flames, 4 mana sorcery, deals 1 damage to each of up to 3 target creatures. Those creatures can't block this turn. Limited Bomb. And I know that sounds silly, but pinging 3 creatures and making them so they can't block can win in limited. Easy. Sleep of the Dead, 1 mana sorcery. Target creature is tapped. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Escapes for 3 and 3 cards. Gift of Strength, 2 mana to give a creature +3/+3 and reach until end of turn. It's an instant. Starlit Mantle, 2 mana flash, aura. Enchant a creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, that creature gains hexproof until end of turn. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Hyrax Tower Scout, 3 mana 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, untap target creature. Elysian Caryatid, 2 mana 1/1. Plant, add 1 mana of any color. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 mana of any one color instead, and that is on a tap. It is not a Sylvan Caryatid, but it's what we deserve in the current standard. Stern Dismissal, 1 blue, instant. Return target creature or enchantment to an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Threnody Singer, 2 mana 1/3 flash flying siren. When it enters the battlefield, target creature opponent controls loses -X power until end of turn, where X is your devotion to blue. Moss Viper, 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch. It is about as simple as it gets, I guess. Triton Wave Rider, 4 mana 3/3 wizard merfolk. Constellation, gains flying. Nessian Hornbeetle, 2 mana 2/2 insect. At the beginning of your turn, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on Nessian Hornbeetle. So that could grow pretty quickly if you have enough turns with it. Nexus Wardens, 3 mana 1/4 Satyr Archer. Reach, Constellation effect, gain 2 life. Witness of Tomorrows is not clickable, so I have it pulled up on tcgplayer.com. It's a 5 mana 3/4 Sphinx enchantment creature with flying. For 4 mana, you may scry 1. Nelia's Forerunner, 5 mana 5/3 enchantment creature beast. Trample, other creatures you control have trample. This is a callback to the archetype cycle from the original Theros block, where they were overcosted creatures with evergreen ability like trample or flying or hexproof or haste, anything like that, and they would give that to all of your other creatures, and they would prevent your opponent's creatures from having that as well. The one that sticks out in my mind right now is the Archetype of Imagination, which was the blue one. It was like a 6 mana 4/4 flyer, I think, that gave all your other creatures flying and made it so that none of your opponent's creatures could fly. It was a good card for what it was in limited, but it was not playable in standard at the time because of all the other nonsense like Thragtusk and all that. Nelia's Huntmaster, 4 mana 4/3 Centaur Shaman. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +X power until end of turn, where X is your devotion to green. Omen of the Hunt, a 3 mana flash enchantment. When Omen of the Hunt enters the battlefield, you may search for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library, 3 mana, and sacrifice Omen of the Hunt to scry 2. So, I'm not sure if I would use this versus the Beanstalk Giant. Instant speed is nice, but it does bring it in tapped. Beanstalk Giant brings it in untapped and has a creature's body attached to it versus a overcosted Scry 2. But that does put the Omen into the graveyard when you Scry 2 with it, which further fuels the escape ability of a lot of the more powerful cards too. It's hard to make that decision until I start building decks, I think. Bronze Sword, 1 mana equipment, +2 power to equip creature, it equips for 3. That is a bad equipment compared to that Shadow Spear thing being a good equipment. Ferris Band Brawler, 6 mana 4/4 Centaur Warrior. When it ETBs, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. 6 mana in green is not too bad, and it's a little bit better than Chupacabra. As far as stats, extra 2 power, but it can't kill something much larger than it. Ravenous Chupacabra spoiled me. Plummet is reprinted. Cetessan Skirmisher, 2 mana, 2/1, Human Warrior. Constellation effect, +1/+1 until end of turn. Cetessan Training, 2 mana. Enchant a creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And enchanted creature gets +1 and trample. That's not too bad, being able to replace it by drawing a card. Mirror Shield, 2 mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +0/+2 and has hexproof. And whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked by this creature, destroy that creature. So both creatures die in that case, but that's not terrible, I guess. It fits the whole story of Medusa, the Golgan, getting her head chopped off because of a mirror. Skola Grove Dancer, 2 mana, 2/2 Satyr Druid enchantment creature. Whenever a land card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, gain a life. 3 mana, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. I like that card. I like that card quite a bit. Voracious Typhon, 4 mana, 4/4 Snake Beast. It has escape for 7 and 4 cards. When it escapes, it comes in with 3/1 counters, making it a 7/7 Snake Beast. Voracious Typhon. Thaumaturge's Familiar, 3 mana, 1/3 artifact bird. Flying. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. I can see that as a useful card in an artifact heavy deck that's running Still Overseer. Warbar Blessing is not clickable, so I have it pulled up over here on tcgplayer.com. A 2 mana enchantment aura that enchants only a creature you control. When it enters the battlefield, that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control, and it gives that creature +0/+2 so that it hopefully survives the fight. Thundering Chariot, is this a vehicle? Yep. 4 mana, 3/3 vehicle, first strike, trample, haste, cruise for 1. Yuck. It's not Smuggler's Copter or Heart of Kirin, but yuck. Traveler's Amulet's reprinted, and I love that artwork. Wow. Vision of Home and a Glimpse of Hope. Hero the Nyxborn. 3 mana, 2/2 Human Soldier in Boros colors. Enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier token. When you cast a spell that targets Hero the Nyxborn, creatures you control get +1/+0. Or, in the old language, Heroic. Wings of Hubris. 2 mana equipment. Gives the creature flying, you can sack it, and that creature can't be blocked this turn. Sacrifice at the beginning of the end step. Equip for 1. Those are the Wings of Icarus. And the flavor text is hilarious. Deluxe's invention worked until it didn't. I like the name too. Wings of Hubris really matches the story. Labyrinth of Scophos, a rare land. Taps to add a colorless mana. 4 mana, it does a Maze of Ith effect almost. Ooh. Daddy like much. Nightmare Shepherd. 4 mana, 4/4. This is in English finally, so we can really see what it says. Flying. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and is a nightmare in addition to its other types. Arasta. Ooh, that full art really is cool looking. Looks like a drow, like Drider almost. Helia's Intervention in full. Nyx Bloom Ancient in full. Shadow to the Sky in full. Bronzehide Lion in full. Dream Trawler in full. I forgot that thing was rare. Whoops. Shadow Spear. Now this is hotness here. Oh man, we can't click on it. We know what it does. We don't know what it's going to look like in full art because I can't click on it to find out, but I bet it's going to be awesome. Labyrinth, probably the full art version. Nyxborn Marauder. 4 mana, 4/3 enchantment creature Minotaur. That's a big old looking Minotaur. Dang. Protean Thaumaturs. 2 mana, 1/1 wizard. Human. Constellation effect. You may have Protean Thaumatur become a copy of another target creature except it has this ability. That's going to be fun. And Thassa's Intervention. Counter spell unless you pay twice X is the more accurate in my opinion, like what I would use it for. But, you know, looking at the top X cards and put up to 2 in your hand and the rest on the bottom is pretty good too. Good card advantage or counter magic, either one. That is it for the Theros Beyond Death spoilers, everybody. I am looking forward to pre-release. I'm not going to be able to participate in a whole lot of events because I've got work, but I'm going to try to participate in at least one, and I am really looking forward to it. I always end up pre-ordering 2 booster boxes too, so I'll get 2 copies of Athreos, which will be a lot of fun for me. But yeah, it's coming out, guys. Like Friday is pre-release. It is legal for standard next Friday, and I am quite excited about it. Finally, some new life will be breathed into the standard environment. There's just so much stagnation right now, and I really feel it more and more whenever I sit down and try to come up with a deck. Like, what kind of deck can I build that isn't going to just flat out die immediately against the main decks that we'll always see on Arena? It's different in paper, but on Arena it's just all they care about is aggro, fast, really. And then you prep for that, and then all of a sudden you end up not against the aggro player, you end up against the control player or the mill player, and it just is what it is. That is Arena to a T. I'm hoping that I'll get the beta invite for the ARPG that they're coming out with. What do they call it? Magic Legends. I've signed up for it, and if I do get that and they are allowing us to post gameplay footage, I will be streaming that when I play it, and I will be uploading the stream videos to YouTube as well. But we won't know until I get the invite, if I get the invite. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're pre-ordering anything from Theros Beyond Death or plan to buy anything from Theros Beyond Death after the fact and are not going to be doing it at your local game store and doing it on tcgplayer.com instead, please keep in mind the affiliate link at the top of my descriptions and use that if possible. Help the channel out, and it'll help me expand content a little bit more, hopefully. Better overall quality for video and camera stuff and microphones and all that too. This is Logrith with the Jank Factory, signing off. Happy magicking.